Say, come on down to the other side. Yeah. All right. Chill zone. Yes. Feeling. Here it is. Now. Whoa. That'd be a deep dive, deep down. So I wanted to talk about something to start out with. Just freshly tuned, by the way. So you have what is called large scale, this is my opinion, of course, spell work. High level, for lack of better term, magicians. So this is my opinion on the coronavirus. That's what it is. It is population control and fear. So this is starting to spread worldwide. And this is what I thought a long time ago. This is my opinion. If, for instance, there was an elite group of people and they wanted to consolidate total and complete domination and control of the world, that's how they would do it. Because if they have an immunity to the virus that was created in their lab, then it would not affect them. Because like little poison pill droppers, they know where to go. Now, as I said about the Black Plague and disease being spread, the goddess's wells were sacred. Why would they target the wells? Huh? Why would they build cathedrals over our sacred sites? It is domination. Just like when an animal stands over its prey like a predator. Is it a little bit dangerous for me to speak like this? Yes, it is. But it's the truth, in my opinion, of course. Just like wars are contrived to feed the elite, regardless of their race, gender, whatever, sexuality, who cares? So I will not give in to fear. That's what they want. Now, fear allows disease to run rampant through your body. The central note of your emotional health is keynote to your physical health. What did I just say? I am not out here on YouTube to get attention. You hear? I'm here to help. There's a big difference. I see people lost. And I spent so much time developing my own path that it is very clear to me what the direction is. I've spent that much time. You're talking near 30 years of developing my path. That's a long time. And nobody forced me. Nobody coddled me. No one guided me along. I had to guide myself. That's why I resent a lot of these groups. Basically, setting up shop and cheapening my people's core practices. All right. So I'm going to cover something I heard in another video. I like the person who covered it. However, see, I think she is for real. But here's what happened. You had these investigative people who don't know shit about energy, okay, or for lack of a better term, magic, but they think it's Harry Potterville and they're going to fucking Disneyland. No, the core root, pardon me for cursing, but the core root is love of tribe and family. They're not getting it. If we do a spell, we'll get rich. Yeah, there'll be beings in the astral realm listening to you. But that is not core root, is it? No. What do I keep saying over and over again? Heart's flame. That is the key to discernment and self-protection. if you want to use magic as a term, electromagnetic frequency, light waves. So these guys were like, they're going to go in. I don't know if there's anything to this, the cauldron, blah, blah, Wicca. And I'm just like, I've had an attitude about that since I was younger. That if you didn't go develop your own path, you don't have it. You are a follower. Big difference. If you've taken in the knowledge and wisdom and you've absorbed it and then you have thought about it, okay. But to put a label on yourself and say, I am special because I belong to Wicca, they don't know shit about it. They don't know about MI6 infiltration. They don't know about Freemasonic connection. Like I said, I'm not at war with any specific groups, but you should know what is at the core root. So if you want to go practice masonry, go do that. If you want to practice the wisdom way, that's a different situation. You see, in my opinion, of course, because it is rooted in connection to the land and the countryside. It has nothing to do with selling goddamn fucking books or little altar pieces and all that shit. It turns into a fucking business. That is why it is so offensive to me. That's why I get angry. Because it is befouling the sacred goddess of sovereignty of my people. And I do not appreciate that. You know, but I understand and comprehend the foundational principles of why. You are looking for something to get the hell out of the goddamn Christian quagmire. And it is an emotional shutdown. That shit had an effect on me because I wasn't like them. I guess I would be bad. All of a sudden I'm evil. But who's acting evil and who's pushing their shit on everybody and not thinking about it? It is the same shit as a Mormon missionary, as a Wicca person doing the same thing. Okay? And then somebody trying to climb up to the top of the hill to have everybody feed them. And they go, I don't like it. I'm being called to my shit. Yes, you are responsible for leadership. Okay? Now, another keynote. Yeah, people who target others and write nasty articles about them. I don't do that shit. But I saw it done to somebody I cared about, and I didn't like that. That is why you have to be so clear in what your perspective is. If you have to go so far as to make a foundational video that says, this is what I am now. Now, your perception and views in the past have shifted. You are allowed to shift your views and transform yourself and change, rather than you made one statement, now you are pigeonholed forever. No, I don't agree at all. You know, it's funny, I was listening to a Robert Smith video, since I'm a big fan of The Cure. You see, Robert Smith is one of the few people that kept the passion going. And he came out of the punk rock scene. I was raised with that. Okay? How do I explain this? I imprinted on Robert Smith at a young age because he was in tune with his emotions. He was romantic with the ladies. Robert wasn't gay. He just didn't give a shit. I remember the video I saw. He was like, fuck it. But he said they were so high, he just didn't care. So he goes up on stage. This is when he's young. And in his 20s. And he said that, what was it? Something like, I don't worship royalty. And I was like, damn, Robert does not give a fuck. He's like me. He just says what he thinks. And but he has to be careful. Now, here's my other opinion. High level people like him, see, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Recently, I don't know, within the last couple of years. Now, here's something interesting that I noticed. Pearl Jam got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, okay, a month prior before Chris Cornell was found suicided. Not an accident. Neither is it an accident that Chester Bennington died on his birthday. Is it dangerous for me to speak about that? Yes. Yes, it is. Because I felt that on a spiritual level. How can I explain that to people? I'm not going to hide it anymore. I sensed it. And I went, what the hell? Now, flash forward to Vegas. What do you consistently see? A black pyramid. What does that represent? Death and dominance. Where is that? The Luxor, right? Is it dangerous for me to speak about that? Yes, very. So I'm noticing a pattern. So I said, fuck the mainstream, because it's all about money and goddamn business. There's no heart in it. And it is difficult at the higher end to do that. So because you get high on praise and awards at a higher level, right? So now Robert Smith is 60 years old, but he still has the same or greater potency that he did when he was 20. I would say greater. See, I don't get stuck in people's older, young stuff. I like that. But what is current is what is important, right? And I liked Robert Smith because he was romantic and creative. And I thought that was cool, Being raised with a single mom, looking for some way to vent emotion with constant depression and domination and violence and other shit. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to go be creative and go write poetry and dance and draw. And that's going to be my life. And that's what I decided. That and the healing arts and studying energy work. But you can't make money doing that. Not really, unless you're some fake ass. And I'm not. So it's like I have accepted a life of poverty so that I can maintain the potency of my art, period. And the art is directly connected to my heart and my heart's flame. If I give that away, then I no longer have a pure flame of inspiration in my heart. Does that make sense? Because you sold it. And immediately on a spiritual level, let's just say there's a goddess of sovereignty, she would sense that. And she will come to the aid of those who are doing their best to stay true-hearted, right? Period, end of statement. So that's how I feel. Whatever the ancient grandmother is, she's not putting up with immature bullshit. So you're going away, and I know there'll be no one left to say I don't need anymore. Oh, yeah. I wanna see, and I wanna feel deep down, yeah. Goth king rising on the side of the door. Whoa, I saw the elf range in the sky floating by. Goddess of the land, goddess of the heart and soul, you said. Oh, sure as the crow flies, sure as the crow flies. Burn, burn, burn. Well, if they come to burn me with fire, then I become fire. Yeah. as the lady of the lake floats over the waters, deep down transformation. Yeah, inspiration, fire in the head, fire in the heart, they say. I'm calling her for us to be protected under the sovereignty, Grandmother Volvo, Grandmother Volvo. I owe Druidess and heart and soul, deep dive down the hole, heart's flame shining on. Said, why do you keep saying that, my love? Well, heart's flame is the only flame left when everything goes out, you see. Goddess, take me home, and I'll be waiting down. I can feel in a world of the blind. Oh, it's hard to feel deep down. Fire and wisdom, well, I know she's gonna sing from heart and soul. Wood and stone is a true crown anyway, as it goes. Hell to helpland, it's where I live anyway. Heart's flame, shine, oh, it feels dark down here. I almost fell away, and I won't lie, oh, tell the truth all the time. What's the point of anything else? Oh, they said that you know. They said you know, but I've been coming here for a long time. I had a sheriff on my way, but I know you're deaf here most of the time. It's just the reality of the world. Hey, if you're the handful that's left, then I will shine, then I will shine for my people around. Oh, when there's no one left, just be on down the trail and go back to the woodland forevermore. Feeling deep down that I know, shattered and broken. broken down, concussion to the head. Oh, all you see is a broken man, but you don't see his dream. Sovereignty of the land, heart and soul, way down, they say. You're not reviewing a product on a shelf. You're hearing the voice of a man that's coming from a deep down heart's flame. And I've worked hard to see it's a hard way, but it's the only way I know for the truth to remain. Gotta prove myself worthy of the sovereignty of the land. Oh, got it some way, shine on. Guess I'm just a wild man of the green land, of the green wood. Oh, oh, singing hail, hail, hail to the mountain, to the mountain. Hail, hail, hail to the mountain, to the mountain. Got a some land, froggy as I am, I know. Swimming deep down to the undertow. Almost fell down, you know. When you're gonna see, you gotta be heart's flame or nothing at all, they say. Oh, Robert Smith told me that a long time ago. He said, stay true. Your greatest is yet to come, said. But is it possible that the heart's flame could be twisted? You know, it is. As the story goes, what do you sacrifice in the fire? Your innocent heart's flame and soul. So I would hope so. Shine on, shine on. Oh, where the Goth King lives, Robin Lyle in the woodland. I would feel you down. I remember when we used to dance around. I could feel it deep down, though, like an emotional undertow. You feel it in the air as the witches dance round. Druidish darkness and the true crown. Whoa, be a liar around every corner, see. The Goth King knows it's coming down, they said. That's what they used to call me when I was a young man. Gothic King. But what are you the king of? Well, I'm the king of heart and soul. Living deep down, they said. Living deep down, they said. Feel it on. Just hold it all the way. Don't give away the flame of inspiration. Fire in the head. Long way down to the other side of town. It said, stay true or fall away. Still keep you down. Protective love, Lord. Protective love at the core of heart's flame. Purify. Intention, intuition, inspiration. Goddess of the land. Shaking deep down. And a single tear falls to the ground. Whoa, bless the land as the tears fall down. Goddess of sovereignty, you know, she'll be right there at the heart of the matter. For she is the flame, rough as a hand. I know. That's why. I knew, I learned at a young age that be true. I saw what they did to my family. Hearts burn, 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 burn as the crow flies. Robin knows, yeah, he knows. So that's what I did, you see. And this is how I feel, fortunate in a way, because of difficulties in my life, fled and escaped Mormonism. That's how I look at it. I escaped it at a young enough age before conditioning set in permanently. Because that is what happens. That's all these little follower people know. And there's no difference in any of these arts. That is why Heart's Flame, the core center of who you are, is what matters. Right? You can slap whatever label on it you want. It doesn't matter. Because the core essence has to be core essence. Or it isn't. It is just you projecting what you feel. And that's part of it. But The unity with tribe and family raises the vibration to a much higher level. So what is the point of, art and expression? To uplift, right? To transform self and others, to teach something, right? That is why it's been cheapened down to this point with music, where at one time playing music was like on a it was praise to whatever the divine source is you want to say, the gods. Okay, for instance, the goddess of sovereignty. And I'm sure there would be a lot of, say, heart songs associated with her. Also, round the hearth, you would be chanting, right? To invoke and call forth light into what you are doing. If that is not heart's flame, then you are not working for the greater benefit of your tribe. You are working for self-enrichment. You see the difference? Why would that backfire on you? Would the all-powerful goddess give a damn about money? No. She would care mostly, in my opinion, about intention. What's your vibe? What are you carrying? Why are you doing what you're doing? That type of stuff. Everything else is secondary to that pure intention within the heart's flame. So if anything would trigger that power, it would be the protection of innocence. And just even thinking about it shifts your vibe away from selfishness. My opinion, of course. That's why I'm like, well, I'm not going to hate anybody. They choose their path. And if they want to do Wicca, that's their shit. Okay, so because it's mutated, but that's not mine. Okay. But growing up in the goth scene, I saw all levels of practitioners. I grew up in the underground of Utah. And man, we had to scrape and scrap to have that. And that is why people who didn't have to do that do not understand what the goth scene was. It was a big deal. Here? And Robert Smith was like the king, right? He was too. He was the king of the goths. And that's how we looked at him. And he still is. Call him weird, whatever, but I love Robert Smith. He's badass. He's romantic. He says what he thinks, right? In my opinion, he's a man's man. Now, you can sit there and go, oh, he wears makeup, he does this. Yeah, but look at how he is, right? He loves women. He's like Robin Hood, no doubt. That's how I look at Robert Smith. He is like a representation of that. And you know what? So am I. So I connect with him because I'm very much like he is. You notice how he doesn't really like doing interviews, but he'll do them. You know what I'm saying? And for him, he has strong intuition. Like he senses feelings. That's why he is so good at what he does, is because he has the ability to intuitively sense the actual feelings of the crowd. And he loves it. But, he's shrunk down, but he is known all over the world, right? And that's an all English band. But here's the funny part. He said he is not as well liked in England as he is in France. He said that was the best crowd because they're more nuanced and focused on art and, poetry. And he was talking about how he would read French poetry and all this shit. And so his inspiration, he said, were these wild people like Jimi Hendrix and, who else did he mention as influences? A couple other people. But Robert Smith, in my opinion, is folkish to the core. Now, he also said he was raised in the Catholic Church, right? Kind of similar to my situation. But he broke away at an early age, started getting in trouble, and he just went punk rock and said, fuck it. done. And that's how I felt, you know. And I never went back. Not really. I mean, yeah. And I go on a mission? No. Nope. No, I don't. Just like Robert would say, you want to become a priest? No. But he said, Robert is folkish and he's paganistic. I know he is, just the way he acts. But here's something cool that I didn't know. He was a guitarist for a short time for Susie and the Banshees. I thought, another one of my favorite bands. She was witchy. All these people that I was attracted to were folkish and witchy. I was like, okay. Jonette Napolitano, Concrete Blonde, whatever. I would love to see a super ticket of all those old school goth kings and queens, as I would call them, right? Queen of the Witches, that type of thing. Morrigan. Whoa, they ran away. So I'm holding on. I decided, I'm going to go back to Inspiration's well and all the music and the art I experienced growing up prior to video games taking over everything. So in a way, I'm glad I didn't get imprinted on video games being my shit. Nope. Art, poetry, self-expression, drawing, healing arts. That became my focus. Still is. That's why I went for massage therapy, because I'm intuitive, right? So now it's about building up out of depression and shutdown after last year, because it was very, very close to, let's say, disappearing off the internet permanently. Channel gone, never to return. I would talk to no one, but I don't want to be that reclusive. But, sensitive people are like that sometimes. Ooh, that sounds very clean. So I've hooked up this, and last night I felt foolish because I forgot to turn the mics on, and I had this big, long conversation. Gone again. She's like, he's not playing, he's just talking. Oh well. That's fine. I respect your choice. I've been down to Valley. I'm going to the mountainside, but I'll be waiting down on the side in the circle round. Oh, keep your feet up. I didn't need it anyway. Fire in the head. Fire. Inspiration's flame as it goes. Come forth, got us to learn, burn deep inside, shine. Standing on the earth with a staff in my hand, draw the circle round. with a star pointing to the sky and into the ground. Oh, ancient as the ground, ancient as the ground. Oh, shining we, that's what I say. For destiny, oh, it's either heart and soul or nothing at all. That's what I said. Oh, deep dive, deep dive, deep dive, yeah, in the heart's pain, in the heart's pain. Oh, easy down, way, easy. Shine deep down in the heart's flame. Shine. I'm gonna turn this. Here we go. Going full Supreme now. Whoa! Yeah. Got my second mic right here. All right. Now, maybe I could figure out a way to connect it. You know what I mean? But it's like I decided long ago that art was going to be my main center for everything I did, and then fused that with my spiritual path. So that is why I'm like, this is not about selling my life to other people, all right? So how do I maintain integrity and keep inspiration's flame pure? That's the key. So I decided to do this instead of, let's say, shelf all of my creative ventures and then just call them worthless, which is what I did for a while. Everything I had ever written was going to be burned in a fire. And if you think I'm joking, I'm not. That's how I felt. That's how frustrated I was with reality. But I did not do that, but I considered it. Because I thought, people are so high on money and business, they don't even see heart. And when it comes their way, they won't even notice. Because they got a death grip on their ass of negativity. Ooh, that's nice. Kind of like that. See how I hung the mic? Whoa! Taking the middle road, and I'm going to L-Pain. Whoa! I don't care what to say. I know what I feel. Feel love. Whoa. Feeling deep down. Oh. Last remnant of a folk soul. was also interesting is that Robert Smith was talking about his nieces and nephews, because he's 60 now. He's pretty much grandpa. You know what I'm saying? Even though you look at him, you don't realize that. You have this image of somebody as 20 years old for the rest of their life, and that's not reality. People shift and grow. And that's what he said. He had to change his perspective, man. He was about love and family. I'm telling you. But it's hard to do that in the industry. You gotta, no thanks. That's why I wouldn't do it. He started at a time when you could do that. Now it is completely corporatized and sold out. Totally. And so in order to even function, being that there are only, a few handful of major, let's just say national distributors, that's who, distributes your CDs and your product, whatever. And then you have your worldwide distribution. So that's even a smaller international handful. But if you get ousted, they will not promote you or distribute any of your artwork. So I just go, it cheapens it. It comes to a point where when you are that big, there is no more hearts playing. It's just money. And that was what I knew that instinctively from a young age. And it was all about being original and pushing the limits. That describes Robert Smith to a T. That is exactly what he did. He never stopped. And the reason he didn't is he had passion for the music. He loves to play. Makes him happy. All right? I enjoy boosting people up. That makes me happy, but turn that up a little bit. I stretch it. Anyway, he was the reason why a lot of guys started wearing makeup and doing that shit. I did not do that. At one point I did, and a really butch dude walked up to me and he goes, Robert is another Nordic guy like me. He goes, wash that shit off your face. I remember. And I respected that, man. I listened because I knew what he meant. But I still say people have the right to be creative weirdos if they want to be. Because I'm a creative weirdo, and I know that. I know I'm different. That's okay. So that's why I just, intention. What do you feel coming off that individual? So there aren't very many artists that say you would feel, right? But I always wondered, I'm like, what is the vibe? Well, it was the actual soul, heart's flame of that artist that you were feeling. But that can be twisted and used on a high level to siphon and cast spells over someone else. Because the stage is a representation of the altar. That's what it is. Raised platform. And they know that. So it's drawing focus. They didn't want folk music because that was about heart and feeling. They wanted big commercial artists that could suck in the crowds and make them handfuls of cash. When they were done with them, they got rid of them. And that's my opinion. And that includes Elvis. And, I just do not have a positive opinion of corporate music in general, because they do not value the core essence of the art. They look at it as a product to sell. And And being that I grew up in a kind of punk rock was anti-commercialism, all right? That was kind of the heart of the matter there. And saying, yeah, I'm poor. You might call me trash, but I am what I am. I think Robert Smith said also he grew up in a musical family, right? My dad was a singer, right? But he wasn't going out of his way to teach me anything. I had to be observant to learn. So naturally, that would have gone into my subconscious when I was younger, hearing my dad's voice. As I get older, I start to sound more like him with a deeper voice, right? People used to mistake me for my dad when I was on the phone. My brother, too. It's kind of funny. But you have to have a trained ear, you know. Then you know the difference. You think about those druidesses I was talking about, being able to raise boils on somebody's skin, right? Is music now just some cheesy bullshit? No. No. Nope. It shapes reality. It is frequency and vibration. Storm on the rise as the windows blow. See the darkening clouds overhead. Morgon soaring overhead. She could see vision. Storm on the rise, shows the trees, oh, blowing in the wind, sway, Gothic queen sway with me, oh, inspiration. Women have always been inspirations to me, you know, always. Love women. I'm a romantic to the core, okay? I admit it. I am. And I always will be. Nothing else is worth it. Now, especially when you love women, you would never be a bitch ass to sit there and manipulate. However, as a romantic guy, you got to guard your heart because there may be women that don't have good intentions, right? It's always men that are seen as the predators. Remember what I said about Mama Bear? You go into her territory and start screwing around, she eats you whole. Remember? The unwise man who did not take the cue that the bear gave him resulted in not only getting him killed, but his girlfriend on top of it. Grizzly in the woodland, black bear, brown bear, polar bear. Don't mean playing around in Mama Bear's backyard. Cheat you all the way. Closing home. It's a true story, actually. Grizzly man, better listen to the sovereignty of the land. Whoa. You be living in a building, but you don't know the earth and the circle around. Whoa, 'cause we live in a box, not a circle around. Maybe I need a long house from the Viking age. Flying up to the center of the room, just like somewhere to gather with my folk. So go on, oh, cauldron, flame, and world. Hearts burn, shine as it stirs round the wall. I love you all the way. I love you all the way, my people. Love you all the way, my folk. Love you all the way. Heart's flame burn on. I can swim in the same deep waters as you. I'm at the edge of the deep green ocean, the deep green sea. Oh, is what the God the King said in word. I've been sitting here for a long time to say, but I just said, can you feel? Not just about saying what you said. You can feel the heart's flame, the cold root down. See, vision ahead clearly now. But if it's going down, stay true to the end. Whoa. Stay true to the end, they said. I was watching Robert Smith. He was playing like this, and he had this finger up, and I was like, oh, well, this finger gets hammered a lot. Look at that. That is my fingertip. You see that? I endure pain to play sometimes. And those grooves get deep. So, you know, gone. See? Do you see what I'm saying? It is only music, right? Just kidding, but it feels that way. Sometimes it's like people want to be entertained, but they don't want to feel what you are saying. Right? I don't mean to be negative. It's positive. But I will confront negativity. That way, it does not persist. If I don't identify that, I will continue to do the same negative pattern. And that's reality. So, ooh. Let's try the softer pick. Might break it though, I have to be careful. go too hard. I already snapped one of these picks. That's why I went for these tougher ones, because I was like, I want to break it. Because I get really passionate when I play, you know, it's got to be easy. There's some smoothness too, and I remember that from Robert Smith. Inspiration. So I have dedicated my life to simply playing music, writing, meditating, developing my path, right? Studying multiple backgrounds on energy work and other things. So I know that is a different perspective from somebody that starts playing around thinking they got magical powers. Well, you do have some spiritual abilities. However, that can be twisted, right? And that is why being centered in what your path is so important. And that's why I am doing this, because I want purity. And if that means that it's just me listening to myself, then that's what I'll do, right? But I'm getting more and more selective with music, right? Art, people I listen to as I get older. So that's why it's like, I don't want to be in 25 million chat rooms. I need potency. That's why I go to that chat, because that person has inspiration's flame and potency. But it's hard to hold that, you know. And eventually, you have to be coming from a place that is your inspirational flame. That is what you need to light. Anything else will not light you up. You will feel low energy. That's how I feel. Because that's what happened to me emotionally. Because emotions are directly linked to my flame of inspiration, right? Being that I serve the goddess, not some Wicca bullshit. No, ancient grandmother. And I told her direct, that's what's up. So why play around with anything else? That's how I feel. I'm unplugging the second mic, which is awesome. Now I can get two mics. Now, what do I really think, since I'm going off on Robert Smith? What is Robert Smith? Right there. Old school. He's not a chick. You get the point. You know what I'm saying? And being that where he grew up in a folkish area, and folk music was huge, say back in the 70s, 60s, especially. Wales, Ireland, England, all those, and that's just pretty much all of my people in one, you know, in one folk soul. That's how I kind of look at it, you know what I mean? Because eventually, as my dad told me, all these tribes go back and are interrelated. So all these people posting up, you know what I'm saying? I don't do that. Do I dislike English people? Nope. I love English people. I just don't like the crown. I think it's bullshit. But that's my opinion, because it is not true-hearted. Nope. It's through domination. Secret society, deception, whatever. It is not an earned inspiration. It is only ruling through warlord mentality. And then there will never be the greatest unity you could have doing that, ever. So knowing that on a spiritual level, that it will multiply exponentially once you are centered within your heart root, your heart's flame of inspiration, the core essence of you, right? Strongest driving force. So I said, okay, well, what is that? Protective love. What do I mean by that? Passion to protect what is good. Otherwise, you're selling it down the river, you're neglecting it, or not even noticing it. And that includes people, because I've experienced that in my life. So I go out of my way to not be that way. You know, I'll sit back for a while and be quiet, but I might start dropping little hints and going, hey, you might want to go over here. I don't say, you go over there. No. I say, hey, what do you think of this? Let's say I pick up a stone or something, right? And they're like, oh, yeah. Oh, you want to look at this stone? Check it out. Right? Versus, how much can I sell this stone for? This stone does not equate to money in the ancient term. You catch? It is base element, right? It's cool, though. Ooh. So also, remember what I said about granite being infused with crystal. This is why it would draw energy to an area. But there is something beyond just the science. When you are in tune with the goddess of sovereignty over the land, she imbues you with a stronger awareness and connection, and then watches over you. That's how I feel. Now, if I am dishonoring the ancient grandmother, why would she come to my aid? Except to be like, well, this grandchild over here doesn't know what's going on, so I guess I'll just, be patient. But it's not going to make her feel good that you are not listening to wisdom, right? Running around being angry, disliking yourself, all this other negative shit. Now, holding yourself accountable for actions before anyone else, that's where self-analysis comes in. But that could turn into a personal beat down on yourself. So it's like you get to the center where you must hold yourself accountable to stand in the circle. And especially with like ancient grandmother and grandfather, being a fool is not accepted at all. No. And that's what I feel the real root essence is. So I wanted to address that today. And then the intentioned focus of either negative or positive energy, right? Intention. Key. And that leads to good discernment, because your intentions are good. You attract positive discernment, and let's just say for argument's sake, the goddess of sovereignty comes to your aid. I liked how he described Morgan in the Riders of the She, in that when she made an oath, her oath was to the land, right? And to the true king and rulership of that. And if a oath was violated, she took it so seriously that she would just rip you to pieces for not honoring the oath. Now, why is that keynote on a metaphysical level? Because you can't sit in her circle and be connected to her heart when you have corruption in yours. It would bring corruption to her and offend her. Then she would have to defend her flame. Do we see how this works? I'm no different. And so now the core essence of inspiration's flame is staying true, not how much money can I sell this for? It doesn't mean he can't survive. It doesn't mean he can't make money. That's aside from the point. So I'm not going to sit here up on a high horse saying, you can't do this, you can't do that. No, I am the authority over myself. And the authority over me is the goddess of sovereignty, period, end of statement. And that's grandmother. And that is what I have chosen, not just for this life, forever. You hear me? I'm not playing with this little patty cake crap. Core essence or nothing. There is too much corruption that has happened. That is why you must go and seek. You must make the effort. You must prove yourself worthy. And it is a constant reproving of center until you cannot be pushed, because the subconscious will continue to push whatever you need to learn forward when you are ready, when you are willing to face it. And that is rite of passage. Not how much money can I sell my rite of passage for. Did you catch what I just said? What's the potency? Here? Say with, this is old school. I'll show you this. Let's see. This is what? A 1960s manual. 1963 was the first edition. This is the 2008 edition. Someone threw in the trash. Now remember what I said. Bruce Lee practiced a martial art form created by a woman, Wing Chun. Where is BobCat's ultimate focus? Fight! Am I playing? Does that mean I go spark fights? More like a Shaolin monk, not playing games. I apply that principle. Does that mean I am a Shaolin monk? No. But I know what the meaning is because I studied Cantonese. Shaolin, young forest monk. They would spend their entire life developing skills and abilities. That is what the druids and druidesses used to do, in my opinion, of course, and vulvas, and whatever the masculine form of that was. Green man of the wood, whatever you want to call it, but they were totally and completely in union with their heart's flame. Totally. Now, why is that important? When your foundation is channeled, if you are not steady within your flame of who you are, it will be uprooted, right? Because you allowed weeds in your heart, emotionally speaking. Remember this? Gentle art of verbal self-defense, right? In avoiding the blame game, getting trapped in that, right? So whatever you are resonating is like a note on an instrument, okay? Emotionally. And being that I have strong emotions, I have had to take, it's taken me years to get to the point where I could self-balance. And then you will go through cycles, but without those skills and years of experience, I would not be here right now. Did you hear me? I would not be alive. That's how serious it is. So the little mamby-pamby money game don't mean shit to me. That's how I look at it. Soft fucking pillow. You don't know hard reality. When you are stripped down to nothing, you figure that out. Till then, kind of living like a little spoiled brat. You're not acting like an adult. And so other mature adults watching your behavior are going to think that. I'm not holding back. Did you notice that? Telling you exactly what I think and feel. Is that rare? Yes, it is. It is not easy to do. But I will not live in fear. So, but I must be wise in what I say and what my opinions are. And I state it, and I state it again. This is not entertainment. This is a ritual space when you come to my channel. Heart's flame. Nothing else matters to me. That's how it is. That's how much I have lost or let go of. But now I just say, let it go. If it doesn't matter, drop it. It doesn't matter. This is a harder guitar to play too, because I have more gap in between the strings, but it gives me more power. I didn't realize that. I'm like, why don't these other guitars sound like the Fender I had? Because I wrote that song for Destiny Norton on this guitar, so it made it special to me. That was the song "Oh Child," and then it's hard for me to sing that, so I don't sing it often, but I know it well. And I'm trying to come from that heart space, but it is painful to do. And people are so attuned to hearing music that is just, systematically, spewed out and then repeated over and over again. But what's the potency in that? If there's passion, there's potency, no matter how many times you sing that song. Shine, shine on, goddess of my heart and soul. Heart's flame, inspiration, burn, shine, shine and shake, shake and shine, shine. Oh, see the root down, see the root down. Oh, goddess of the way, inspiration, flame, well, and tree. Oh, so I acknowledge Robert Smith is one of my major influences, and he is, among others. Thought it was interesting we both liked Jimi Hendrix. Hey man, they were pushing the boundaries of reality. Women too, that's right. Ladies are in there, definitely. Without them, there'd be no inspiration for me to do shit. You like women that much? Yep, sure do. I'd still go, but I wouldn't be as happy. Oh, beauty as a woman, love's flame, shine on, way down, deep down, singing from the core of my heart and soul. Inspiration's well, flame and tree, see the root down, see the root down. I'll be grounding deep down. To the goddess of sovereignty of the land. 'Cause there's more gone overhead, there's trouble on the wind, more gone. Sovereignty of the land, oceans wide, to the end of the deep green sea. I'll be swimming in the same deep waters as you. Oh, sure as Robin I WoodStone, wood and stone is in the woodland B.I.O. I feel it deep down, hot root seed, root down, root down, root down. Whoa. Seed root down. Do it for the wise ones in the woodland. You're the only ones I do it for anyway. Shine, shine. Whoa. Yeah. Deep down, call him the God, the King. Yeah, think I could relate to that, I know. And I don't have a gold and silver crown, no. Got a wood crown, wood and stone. Sad as it cracked in the woodland. Wood and stone, blood and bone. Wood and stone, as the Morgan is overhead, Let 'em all see the root down. Hearts flaming, circle round. Hearts flame and circle round. Oh, circle round. Inspiration, flame tree and world, flame tree and world, flame tree and world. Love's flame, folk soul, is all that remains. See the down, root down, fly high, circle round. Oh, ancient circle, oh, ancient circle, oh, Morgan overhead, and feel. Sure as a chronos fly, oh, raving overhead. Oh, the trees rustle in the breeze. The trees rustle in the breeze. I shall return forevermore. Thank you. Circle round, hold the flame, heart's flame. I love you and thank you. Take care of my people, my folk. Heart's flame to circle round. Oh.